long, this feels like a fitting place to potentially find a decider in this series.
Yeah, I think it could be interesting if we get there. The issue is I'm looking at some of these opening maps right now for the side of FURIA, and I'm thinking, okay, I watched so much of FURIA success there at Cologne on this map of Inferno there. It felt like even though they were kind of still feeling things out with the additions there and testing the waters with Molodoi still very early on, they were so successful on this map and showing range, playing different teams and playing different teams, so effectively on this map of Inferno there, and constantly catching rosters off guard when they were playing it. I mean, you think about their victory over G2 on this map. They beat Astralis multiple times on that map, so I feel like they are always coming through prepping for their opponent, and that's going to be the same case here when you look at Fluxo.
Yeah. I mean, look, we'll do the contextualizing since you're trying to bring us down to earth here, Cole. FURIA should absolutely destroy Fluxo, right? FURIA is a team that is in top 5 in the VRS at this point too right now. Like, the fact that they're in this 0-1 pool is just Fluxo's thinking, what the hell, guys? Like, Hotu, where did this come from? But you know what? Hotu did it. And Fluxo, domestic competitions always get a little bit weird. And yeah, even if FURIA is going kind of international now, they've got this young Brazilian kid, Molodoi, from Kazakhstan. I don't know how they found a Brazilian in Kazakhstan, but they managed to make it happen. There's a little bit more in this. There's a little bit more with the domestic rivalry. There's certainly a little bit more for a lot of the players over on Fluxo in terms of personal grievance, personal grudge, perhaps old friends. If there's a way for this to get screwy, this is the matchup where it's going to get weird.
This is definitely not who FURIA were looking forward to playing in the 0-1 because of that domestic matchup. We see that sometimes that can kind of, shake up what should be versus what can happen on the server there. I mean, as you said, though, it is going to need to be the case that we see some of these absolute key pieces show up on the side of Fluxo. I think about Lukowski and his ceiling as a player. Maybe, obviously his time on MIBR was pretty bleak and drastic, but he's back with his home. He's back with a IGL that kind of lets him off the leash here. Yeah. So I think this is a roster where he can thrive in. Now, can he get his confidence back from that time is a different question, but this is where he's done his best work with this Fluxo roster, so that's going to be a huge opportunity for him to bounce back. And think about maps like Inferno where you require aggressive pieces that can be let off the leash. He'll have that freedom.
Smile on the face there for Art. I'd imagine there's some typing going on in this particular server. Again, just for context, this was Art, KSCERATO, Yuri was that core of FURIA for so long. So many years together, so much familiarity, so many matches in the server. These guys know each other about as well as their families do, probably. Now it's time to see if Art can take that knowledge and put it into service in the server. 4 players headed towards B early on for this pistol. Heavy banana setup, anticipating what Fluxo might throw, but they have anticipated incorrectly. It's just Yuri in the pit to defend A. And Fluxo headed in to the apartments.
Yeah, the question is how much can Yuri get out of this position, because A-side retakes are not easy. You want to have a man advantage. He'll get a chance here. Flashbang perfect, but he just lines up a headshot. Lukowski doesn't get to play the round, and somehow Yuri's doing it by himself. Still kicking, reload comes through, and he's able to get it off, but no further damage done.
Extremely fortunate that kill came through for Decenti, because he brought the bomb into the pit, right? So if he fell there, suddenly it's an absolute disaster. Still, Yuri's already done his work. He has made this very possible. Zevi going to make it more challenging on the retake. Through the smoke, though, goes Molodoi to pick away the numbers, and it all falls to Zevi. Having to back away, having to readjust, change the sightlines. He's got that bomb to play off of, but he will not be allowed to entertain the possibility. The fangs of FURIA are sharp in this pistol, and they strike first.
That's a beautiful work there from Yuri. They are putting a lot of weight on his shoulders, and Fluxo target the right side of the map there, and it's always frustrating when you do everything right and around there, or at least a lot right in terms of executing and finding the right target on a pistol. You call up a good game plan, and you still walk away with a 1v5 player inside of the pit who just nails down 2 quick kills. There's not a lot you can do about how sharp Yuri is right there.
Say the trick is to flash him? Well, he was flashed.
Yeah, exactly.
Trick is to not get shot, I guess. It's a bold strategy. Gotta work on your matrix dodging.
Dodge, duck,
dip,
dive,
dodge.
That's the 5th one.
I think we watched different Matrix movies.
was laughing out loud a lot.
Ah, yes, my favorite actor of Neo, Vince Vaughn.
Get the force by here out of the Fluxo camp. Kowski, again, as I said, given a lot of resources on this team, given a lot of chances to make things work. He's got the AK. Shout out to Zevi for that one. But he's already taken down to half HP. Just starting to work through the progressions up Banana, but of course that's met by reaction. Counter smoke tossed in. And they're not conceding the space. Oh.
Audio.
Yikes.
No, he's thinking boost. He's not executing just yet. On util here, but now the trap is going to be sprung. And as the smoke fades, can you survive? Yes, absolutely. Escape caught free, but Fallen flies right back into the brawl. Tons of damage done on Descenti. Now the crossfire set up. KSCERATO's here to support. A smoke will go up for it, but they'll go for the flower pots boost. May not have known if Molodoi was here as well, and KSCERATO still hasn't revealed his hand. Now it is. Cards are on the table, but Descenti cannot fold.
That's pretty right there, man. They are able to quickly transition the defense. They get the late utility down. You pretty much get everything you can ask for right there. Maybe some missed execution on the boost that could have worked out a little bit better for Fluxo, but Fallen just doing so much damage and also delaying and staying alive for forever is just brutal, because that's going to allow for these quick rotates of Fury, the lack of hesitation that this team possesses to get where they need to be and fast. We got Art rocking the Scout. He wants a little something for this round.
He does love a Scout.
Oh my god. Doesn't get to play with it, you're really...
Not loving Yuri right now.
Oh.
Maybe another context, but not right now.
Lippy's pretty good with the Scout as well. I guess that's a nice part there. You go down, you get a little upgrade for your troubles. The issue with this round, even if there isn't much of a chance, is that the bomb is also down. They've got to recover that. It's being cut off from Banana as well. See if they can find anything up. Brackets first things first, but KSCERATO holding it together a little too strong.
Yeah, I don't think that's a problem they're going to have to figure out.
A little whack-a-mole for you, Kindar. Decent. Can they find anything here in Boiler? Definitely catching Yuri by surprise. He can't knock down the kill, though. Nothing given. Fluxo find themselves down 3-0. We'll get their first gun round up.
Smiles on. See what Fluxo are bringing to the table here with rifles in hands. They have not done too much of a test onto Furia through these first couple. AKs across the board, decent chunky utility as well. You know, talking about old reunions, over on the other stream, we got Sunpies playing against Gentlemates.
Ooh.
These little boys. It's a day of reunions here on the ESL Pro League. We're all about family at Pro League.
One big family. That is crazy.
Big Vin Diesel fans.
It's everything.
Family.
Definitely no love lost here on the server, though. I feel like Art, again, coming through so eager to try and pick up this victory. See what happens here on this banana play. Absolutely nothing gained here. Kindart and Fallen, who have worked so well off of each other, once again sequencing some of that success. Kindart will fall eventually after all is settled, though. What are they left with here? One last player through the smoke and guy on a solo lurk.
It's kind of got to be one of those funny things where, you know, if you're trying to get your bulletin board material for this matchup, if you're Tacitus, you're like, Art, you spent years on this roster, they cast you aside, the org went away from Brazil, they didn't want our contributions, yada, 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 whatever hype up speech. I'm just imagining in my head, and then you're like, Kai, you were also there sometime.
And Kai, you played too.
You were there too. I don't actually remember how long he stuck exactly on the roster.
It was like 3 or 4 months.
Whole months.
From the beginning of maybe like February to the end of the season. which I think they were looking for the replacement, and it just took them a little while to figure it out.
He was off the academy team, as I recall the context. Let's see exactly how long did he spend.
Played with the academy squad. Watched him on that academy team quite a bit, and didn't seem like he was super explosive. They didn't win a lot in like Tier 3 South America, so I was really concerned, and then kind of played out where I think he jumped the gun on getting his big opportunity, right?
Yeah, it was actually April to June.
Okay.
It's 3 months.
Yeah. Didn't quite work out how they would hope, but I will say I think he's showing, a natural progression a little bit more here on the Fluxo roster. I think that would have made sense. He skipped a couple steps, I would say, in his progression throughout South America. Fluxo as a landing spot is pretty good value, I think. He's got some experience.
Oh, definitely.
Oh my god, can they not take Banana right now versus Yakinda or Fallen? Just complete disruption. Is Molodoi now able to sequence some frags down middle? They're low health, they're constantly eating utility, and there's an unrelenting aggression. What sort of motivation can you provide this team when you start the rounds off like this every single time?
It's hard to start a fire when you can't find a spark. Zevi right now feeling like a wet tinder.
Goodness.
He's just getting run down. There's no mercy. There's no fear. They are chasing straight into it. No respect being shown right now. Suffocating out from FURIA. Fluxo feeling the wrath, perhaps, of that stumble against Hotu. Now being let out in the server here on Inferno.
Yeah, for a team that's like, I mean, just explosive growth here with the 2 new additions, it's like sometimes you get your victories and you start to let off the gas a little bit. Maybe, I'm not saying that's the case. I don't think that is for FURIA, but you step in, you kind of expect for the success to continue. And I know that how FURIA have been winning a lot of these games has to be a lot of prep work and a lot of research here for these opponents. They missed out on that.
I think it's also very important to contextualize. Nice nade kills coming through, and once again, Banana is close for Jesus. They exact a heavy price of rent here on Banana. At least Zevi's going to be able to answer back a little bit of it. That smoke did not bloom quite in time. And actually, this had full presence, but we've got to stack up a boost in the apartments. A little atypical here.
Bit of a totem pole.
Based on the bomb, it looks like we want to split B.
I think this is a great read here from T side. If they can make it happen in time, though, the issue is now that you're starting to pull through on a flank, and the bomb is actually diving back towards A, so as much as it looked like a split, it could be that you get cut off and the bomb hits the floor.
Wait, this could be the absolute worst possible result. Even if you get past the first player, there's someone in Boiler, and now the bomb, C4's down. They would have had a good potential if they'd split B, but misreading the situation, that aggressive apartment's posturing catches them off guards. And now, 30 seconds on the clock, and you just have to recover the C4, and you're not going to be allowed to. Kai, there's no chance here. Even if he can find the kills, the clock alone is his enemy.
Even the way that they take that fight down middle, like distraction towards the top of mid just to get the kill from the sideline. I mean, that's brutal stuff, and this is how it starts on Banana. It's utility damage. I mean, they're stacking it up here. It's pretty severe. Every round, multiple HEs are doing damage.
So what we were talking about before, like, I think it's important to contextualize, particularly for Molodoi. Everyone else on this roster, very experienced, right? At this point, veterans.
Yeah.
For all of them. Molodoi, extremely fresh to this level of play. Fresh to the experience of lifting a trophy. Fresh to the experience of playing in an arena, right? So there is that experience factor of being able to reset back into a studio game, back into a group stage game, back into an opponent that maybe you feel like you should have in the bag. It's just always being able to find that reset. You came off of a huge high. Everybody's talking about you. You won the MVP. You got a trophy. That is such an adrenaline moment. And then it's important to be able to package that back up and get back to the business that is getting through these group stage games, getting through these early games, getting over opponents like Hotu. So I do think it's important to contextualize that. Like, that is also a learned skill for a professional Counter-Strike player. And I mean, even for Yuri and KSCERATO, they haven't had a whole lot of trophy lifts in their history. So these are moments that you learn.
Gonna could have.
Stumbles, maybe not the most surprising thing, but let's see if they can overcome this one. Finally, some penetration in towards a site, as this bomb might actually get planted for the first time in a very, very long time.
God, the extra kill there through the smoke as well goes a long way. Trying to line up the spam there, but Moldoy's already pulling up on the flank right now. Too quick. Pull it together here now that Postplan's feeling a little bit awkward, but Art giving him new opportunities. Taking things in towards the church, though. Yakindar,
he knows he's here.
Is waiting for him to pull things together. He catches him by surprise. It's just going to be one guy in the back corner with a Deagle here trying to buy enough time, but so much to go around here. Shots just aren't connecting out of the Deagle. Doesn't get a chance to follow it up on the Moldoy. Plenty of time for the defuse, and while Fluxo gains some ground, Furia take it right back.
Still the most successful round since the pistol.
Yeah.
They actually get some ground, they get some presence, they get some penetration in towards the site.
Might
Get
be
a bomb plant.
A learning opportunity to say, hey, let's ease it up on early banana fights and say, maybe we play out a round that isn't 5v3 from the start, and we don't die to utility at the start of the round as well.
Here's the timeout coming in, so I'd imagine this might be exactly what Tacitus is bringing to the table, talking to them, saying, look, we found some answers there. Let's see if we can implement them. Because it is 7-0 down right now. And maybe we can adjust the tempo here.
Yeah, Furia doing a great job of kind of realizing how Fluxo are going to start off the rounds in the early stages. They're fighting Art and Lukowski up banana. That is, what feels like kind of obvious, but sometimes hard to react to. On Inferno to start off your CT sides. Fluxo wanted to dictate the pace on their T sides, and they got met by utility damage and smoke spam and early kills. So as you said, that timeout kind of needs to calibrate how they're going to work the start of these rounds. Put a little bit more emphasis towards that A side. That's exactly what we're seeing. And here we go. The totem pole still assembled in a long haul here. Interesting to see this again. Two rifles stacked on top of each other. Two very effective riflers doing so. You think you have a chance versus KSCERATO and Yuri stacked on top of each other?
I don't think you do. I don't know if you do. It's gonna be tough for sure. Decenti's gonna peek into it, say, no, you know what? Actually, I don't want it. I don't want this. And they're gonna come back to banana off of that. It's the right read right now. It's just the one man. That one man has been a bit of a stumbling block for you.
Let's see what block utilities left here. She does have a smoke that's tossing around 50 seconds left. A little bit scary there, those shots above the barrels, but...
When does Fallen come back? That's the question. Now he started to begin the rotation back in. They haven't seen anything else towards Arch. They pop that smoke. They still don't see anything. So now he's going to start to get a move on, and you might see Molodey move pretty quickly as well, because the A players are detecting no presence. Interesting commit into the sandbags. Flashbang to set it up, and it works out beautifully. Now they've got the information. That dropped the bomb as well, so Molodey can start to route on over. Fallen just trying to buy time. He doesn't have the utility to do it anymore. He's got to do it with the rifle, but he's going to do exactly that. Only 20 seconds. There's no time to spare, and Fallen is just locking this down. Hasn't even got the support just yet, but he's bought so much time off of that clock. And now Flashbangs can set up Molodey, who on this smoke fade, is going to put one through the chest of Decenti. He's won it on the time now. Zevi just doesn't have any options. And the 8-0 hits the board as there is no mercy for Fluxo.
I mean, in the heat of the moment, so many small connections in between Fallen and Yakindar in this round right there. Late Flashbang rolls on up, blinds up the easy trade potential. Yakindar does monumental damage in that round as well. Sets Fallen up for a multi-kill on the site hold. Molodey comes in with the closing, and time pressure really causing Fluxo a problem. So now Furia, they don't fall victim to these late B plays. They're still just as prepared. They're still using some of that late utility to full effect. And off the back of that timeout, Fluxo did try and read in those proper reactions, but don't get the advantage off the back of it.
Sick.
There we go.
Here comes through an opener. These have been few and far between for Fluxo.
If at all.
If at all, now that I think about it.
I don't know if they've had a single opening. Maybe on that
oh boy,
that half by here, but what is Yakindar to do in this
Oh
position?
my god, they're gonna try and boost.
They're gonna block him. Now they should realize.
Now, do they know?
It doesn't.
This guy think he was on a teammate, they don't know. He's turning around. He's turning around. Oh boy, but it's 2 kills in the back. And now complete devastation. A smoke pop to find one more off of Fallen. Molodoi, a rare miss. And that extends the opportunity. A 2-on-2. Bomb can get planted. Fallen wants to make the playthrough, knowing that the bomb planter's on, but he's made his way out towards Banana. Sets up the clutch. Zevi on Yuri. Zevi wants his shot. Smoke to close the angle, close the distance, knowing that he's going to leak out towards either side of this. Yuri's got some options. Expected a response. Was waiting to maybe see if an HE had been picked up to pop that smoke. But he expects the creepy's got to get a move on. He has a kit, but still, time is precious. And now Yuri slides out, and Zevi, dancing behind the box, thinks he might have missed some windows here. No scope action, but it's the dig that seals the first round on the board for Fluxo.
He did something to lift off right there. Zevi able to provide just enough coverage. Huge time pickup with the 1v2. Feeling the pressure rolling him up. And that could have just been even more frustration right there. Yakindar disrupting the attack. Zevi with the deagle. 2 important shots. And that's, yeah, I mean, I understand it from Lucaozi getting flanked through the smoke like that. There had to have been some sort of thought in their mind that, what am I bumping into there? Either way, Yakindar able to fly by, catch it by surprise.
Is this a timeout? This is a timeout. Okay, called through. I thought it might have just been a tech to set up Lucaozi's audio. But okay. Fluxo recognizing that they need to be able to follow this up, that they've been given an opportunity now, and they need to be able to build. So the first brick has gone into the foundation of what could become a half a play. But you know what sucks? Is if you put that first brick in, then someone comes in and knocks it away.
Tough to knock down a brick that's kind of standing alone, right?
You can just like pick it up and throw it and start over. I think that's what FURIA is planning to do.
Like a little Jenga block that's just standing on its own. One solo platform. Not much foundation here, but if they can disrupt it somehow, and more utility damage, more opening picks. Another phenomenal start. Look at the HP bars. It is drastic. And a 4v3. And they've already pushed down. They're contained to Banana. There is no escape. Molodoi has pushed down middle. This is ridiculous.
They don't know it yet, but it's just a matter of time. They're fishing a barrel right now. And these fish have to shoot their way out.
Well, this is a good angle for Zevi. Oh, never mind. He's playing up against Molodoi. I forgot for a split second.
Pretty quick about those. Well, if there was any doubt that these players were all contained in towards Banana, spotting the bomb has certainly changed that, and now it all falls to Lucaozi. A 1-on-4.
That's off the back of your timeout. And Fluxo go back to what has been a little bit costly for them in fighting early Banana. They try and challenge the utility and firepower of Yakindar on Banana and Fallen, who's following up. And I just feel like there's nothing letting off the gas here. Molodoi gonna get a second death there in quite the wild way.
Yeah, smoke push with the op might have been a bit bold.
But it was fun.
It was fun. 25 seconds. Surely there's no chance.
Make anything out of this clutch here. Push through CT. Oh, he spotted.
Would have been an interesting idea if he'd been able to slip away. But it is just another devastating round. You finally get something. You finally get a round. You take a timeout off of it to try and come up with a game plan. Your game plan's faster towards B, and you just get annihilated. Total contain on Banana.
Throughout the whole half. If you want to fight for early Banana control, you're going to have to sacrifice at least 2 players and a whole lot of HP. And that's just kind of the way that things are rolling right now for FURIA. So if you're Fluxo, you're trying to pace change, throw a wrench in the system. But you're going back into familiar scenes from the early game. And it is not quite going your way here. A little boost action. Yuri spotting it out, hunting it down, and he finds one and a second. Not found, actually. Decent. He putting up a little bit of resistance there, dodging some bullets.
That's an A1S moment. A4 gets that.
He got lured into running and gunning right there, and there is a little bit of inaccuracy.
MP9 gets that.
MP9 will probably get that. It would likely.
Arch crept to smoke. Classic art.
I love classic art. What can he do?
More of a Renaissance guy.
Yeah. Fair enough. Not as much smoke pushes, though, in that.
No.
but this timing is just perfection. And this is what Classic Arc likes to get up to here. Threading the needle on the timing here. Now, his teammates do have to wait for him, though.
This is distinctly an art round, though. That smoke's going to buy them the time to do it without really giving away what's happening here. He's crept so far forward. They have no idea. They don't know. The A players have no information. And clearly the B players haven't thought about this on the contain. 25 seconds.
Oh, you Kendar, don't do it.
Just thinking about checking it.
Don't do it. Okay, he's turning away from the flashbang, so it's a flank. Easy pickings now. Need to find the follow-up, though. Not available. Fallen, can he put up the resistance? Look at this, man. Fallen locking it down from the new box. Another pickup here, still dancing, and he finds himself a third here. Going for the 4K. Fallen, knocking them all down just when you think there's a little bit of hope. It's stashed away here by the rifler.
The professor is a harsh grader, and you better pass with flying marks. Yeah, you might have found one trick. You might have found one trick, but that's not gonna pass his tests. The damage on Banana, again, just coming back to haunt them. They have two players who are just a wisp away from death. So Fallen can just dance around that box, find his moves, hit his pirouette, and log down B once more. A final round of the half! And Fluxo are thinking, please, anything, a round, I beg of you. That's my internal interpretation of our internal monologue right now. Cowsy, it will not be you.
It's 1 in 12 for him on the half. It just goes to show how difficult it is to work up Banana on this squad. It is a non-option. Said he was going to be one of the key figures. He's given the opportunities, and well, Decent going to create some new strides. Nice little pickup here, a 4v4, and the A site could be available.
Extremely workable now. If they have a smoke for Moto, yeah, he tries to get aggressive through the smoke. Art says, I've seen this one before.
Oh, gosh.
Probably need something to deal with Molodoy, though.
Oh.
That is something very nice to deal with Molodoy. Great shots being hit by Zevi. It's come down to just the one, and we do get a second round for Fluxo, so their prayers have been answered. Oh, I thought he was going to say something. He just scratched his nose. Fallen. Keeping me silent. Keeping me silent. Keeping Fluxo pretty silent in that first half as well. Furia definitely had the number of Fluxo. Very aggressive on their banana play. Very successful on it as well. Now Fluxo will try and do much the same here in the second half, Mr. Cole McHenry.
Yeah, there's 30 kills for Fallen and Yakindo, the two B players combined.
Ouch.
It just goes to show. Fluxo liked it in the first half there, hitting the B side. I feel like for almost every round besides the pistol and the last. Nice little sandwich of A plays for the half. Led them to 2 rounds in the end. We'll see if they can come back in the second half. We got a Hull's aggression, maybe a Hull's pop here, leaning up, but more towards the lane side. Gets Zevi peeking forward, and he's able to contain Molodoy, finding more success with the dual Berettas as well. So it could be a quick shutdown. Zevi finding everything here with his 2 guns. It just leaves KSCERATO in a pretty drastic 1v4. Won't be able to find much more ground.
Real key kills there from Zevi. The first one in particular, right? If you're letting them have full space, you're in trouble. So as the hit starts to come in, he knows they need to get something to be able to fight from. Fights into apartments, catches that kill. Now he's suddenly got a place to swing from, and things look a whole lot better. So that's nice initiative taken. Very nicely done from Zevi in particular. And, I mean, critical for Fluxo. This is their map pick. This is the only way forward. You needed the pistol. You got the pistol. First step, box checked.
Next step, you force buy.
10 more boxes to check.
You make it sound easy, you know. Just a little check mark. Check the box, win the round. That's the hard part, I guess.
These boxes?
Yeah. Bananas and oranges.
Wasn't counting. I didn't know if there were 10 of them.
There's a good amount there. Maybe not enough to pull things back together here for Fluxo, but we'll see. They're going to have to start up against this pretty scrappy force buy here. We did look at a clear game plan for FURIA play out there. Have Fallen and Yakindo toss down to HEs and find opening duels. So you expect that game plan to carry forward up against this second half with their T side.
Showing. And a showis.
That's the end goal here. They got a little bit of a bracket smoke right now, but they just got left outside looking in on B side, and
this is
block molly.
Really dangerous. It is that one incendiary. There's some flashes to play with too, but if Art dies on this smoke fade, that incendiary can't be used anymore. Fortunately, he lives. Really trying to get a bit of spam. Bukowski coming into support. He's got a decoy, I believe. They're gonna go through this. Somehow continuing to stack up the kills. Unable to connect over on the Furious side, so it has worked out until... Oh my goodness. Can't be letting that happen. Zevi puts an end to it. But well contained for Fluxo.
Yeah, all things considered, not all that bad there. A little lineup with the Deagle action. Molodoy showing what he's made of in a bit of a parting gift, but overall, I think good utility there, setting up the anchors for success on that B side. See those counter flashes, and all things considered, if you're going to be giving them the space and allowing them to execute into the site with their smokes down, you get a boost and you also are able to throw flashes over new box. That means you're probably looking at a pretty successful round. Deagle in play, aggression down middle and through apartments, and they don't get caught by the Deagles. Looking like another clean round here for the Fluxo camp. Don't want to take any casualties. Give yourself as much of a chance to establish yourself here in this second half. And Kai, a flawless one.
In that one. We need a translator. Live translator. Gronk, what did he say?
Gronk is the guy that's translating for us.
I mean, he knows Soy Fiesta, right?
Is this a different...
I know that is bad Spanish, but maybe he can make it happen. I don't know, it's Portuguese.
See if we can get a nice little spike here down banana.
Oh boy, he said he threw the smoke. Fallen's been dropped elsewhere off the HEs, but this is a lot of damage done onto Zevi and Art. They have come up worse for the wear. Now the utility's back out for Furia.
So the trade you'll take with a smile on your face here this early on into a round. Try and create some weaknesses in defense here at the moment. The A side is the vulnerability here. The early rotations from Art, maybe a little dump off of utility before he goes back in towards this A side. That does seem to be the case here. And now that you stacked up the util on Kai, so you have a bit more comfort, but that kill's not something you can afford. Yakinda are still lurking through, Zevi wanting more information, and a half HP Art is what you have to lean on. And they're not sitting any extra resources. It will be Art and him alone to hold off this A side. For now. Doesn't seem like Furia are in too much of a rush, though.
They know they have time. They know that if they put more time into it, it keeps them guessing. It might spread out this defense. Now they'll start to execute. Now they'll start to move. But Art just has so much responsibility and he needs this kill. He can't find it. It's a save. 11 rounds hit the board. A little bit of a start to this half, but we just know how much more there is to play here for Fluxo. So a good decision to keep the guns out, not to risk them. It would stink to have to end this map on an eco.
Well, yeah, that would be the worst way to do it. Don't want to play up against this Furia camp with pistol, that's for sure. And again, I think Furia, when they get those guns out, they do exactly what their game plan is. They find an opening pick, they'll take an early trade, and with a 4v4...
I know that game.
All the time in the world. You ever play Source?
Yeah, briefly.
I used to play, it was actually my first Counter-Strike. I used to play gun game on Source, and I didn't really understand that you couldn't move, or you couldn't move and shoot. So I would really struggle with the rifle portion, but when you got the SMGs,
you were killing it.
I was fragging.
Played a teens of 1.6 back in the day.
I've never touched 1.6.
I can't say I really understood what I was doing. I was quite young. And no one would explain it to me. But it was in a computer room in Vietnam where I played a bit of 1.6. But really fell in love with the game during go.
Yeah.
A late adopter, one might say.
Same. But hey, it's better than adopting the game in CS2, am I right? All you youngins?
You're right. Wayne, you're right. No. There's never a bad time to fall in love with Counter-Strike. Zevi. Making that op sing out. It's the big gun in his hands. He's delivering for the team and for a second able to readjust on the shot. Fallen want to see if he can get away with cheap there. It's not to happen. Zevi is just everywhere on this A site. They haven't seen anybody else, but Zevi dismantling. Finally, they'll put him to rest. But not without a last laugh from Lukowski. Starting to find his footing in this second half. He's just dodging spam, dodging bullets, trying to survive here. Trying to find some further damage, and that damage will not be available. Fluxo commanding round, and it's all off that Zevi op.
That is my favorite form of Zevi right there. Floating around the map there, finding picks, never really letting off the gas. He is an opper that is constantly re-peaking, constantly taking further ground here. At least when he was playing at his most confident, I do think a little bit of that flash of flair has since fallen off in the last couple of years, but I mean, when he really first got a chance with Pain back in the day, he didn't know how to say no to an angle. So, I like to see that when you need something going for the side of Fluxo. That is one way to get it lifted off right there. Nice 3K. And a cooldown. Where is he up to now here? Seems like he's holding off of the bracket side, so not going to get a lot of early attacking just yet. Goodness, all this HE's rattle off all at once. Both Furia and Fluxo trying to time it up effectively to do even more damage. Not as much damage as they would have hoped for here.
I think Fluxo at this point, with how this map has gone, are just happy anytime they can get out of that nade exchange section without anybody on like 1 HP. They've got the bodies in the right place. They have 4 players here to defend A. Fluxo have read this. Still have to execute, but they've read it very nicely. Lukowski's tucked. Does he get hard clear? No, he does not, and he will punish them for it. Lukowski to the tune of 2. And now stymied what FURIA wants to do. Yeki, the next victim on in. It's all on to Art in defensive B, but his teammates have given him a red carpet. And now it falls to Molodoi, 1v5, even if he finds Art. There's so much more work required, and he's trying to just go for the save. 20 seconds on the rotate. Zevi's gonna run him down, but find a little bit more than he bargained for. No op for you. Too tempting a prize, but that was the trap, and Kai was the punishment.
Lukowski, you know what that one means right there. Finding that 3K, holding off one whole side of the attack, trying to flow through the mid to B, and ended up getting completely shut out. At the hands of Lukowski. A timeout from FURIA here. Things are getting a little more tricky than they would have hoped for. These T sides not as easy as that first half there, and as you said, utility damage not as effective. You're not finding those opening picks. You're not finding multiple of them on Banana here anymore. So we'll see what this timeout leads to here as an adjustment. Feels like positionally they're surprised by how Fluxo are rotating throughout the map here, and I think that's what they need to take some time and discuss. We watched that double clear towards Library. That's where they're expecting the defense to be, but Lukowski's tucked in that other corner there in free fire on 2 backs turned.
Zevi down middle.
Versus the AK?
Don't test that, man. He's been heating up.
A little bit more early and active here towards the A side of the map right now.
I mean, with the limitations on the gun, seems like they might want to go for a more explosive play. Lukowski and Zevi chime in for a few sustained engagements. Eventually, this man will go down, but he's done so much damage in doing so. And Zevi, able to obtain his angles, go back with the sidearm, teammates to support, and no chance for FURIA. So this lead has evaporated. That is a happy Tacitus right now. There's just 3 rounds that separate these 2 squads, and considering how that first half went, I didn't even know that we were going to get a game here.
Absolutely didn't feel like it, man. And you can see that Fluxo now starting to believe as well. All of a sudden, a little bit of inspiration in their camp.
I mean, even in this rifle round limitations, right? Molodoi onto that Tech 9.
Not a lot to bring into this round here. We'll see, again, pace change. A little bit more high octane here for the side of the T's here. KSCERATO forward facing on these Banana fights, not hanging back. They're taking apps control a little bit earlier. It's been the adjustment off the back of the timeout. And it seems like something Fluxo are willing to concede here. Late Banana retake control, flashes. Doubling down here. Another HE lands on top of KSCERATO. He's walking wounded. It looks like Fluxo trying to give FURIA a taste of their own medicine. Smoke spam not as successful though. Art goes down to half. He's left on an island now.
The big silver lining for KSCERATO is there's no more HEs near here. The last one's over in the apartments. However, might be headed back this direction. They've been turned away from Banana, it seems.
This is where the rotations, I think, are again catching FURIA by surprise. 4 players stacked over towards this A side, trusting in Art, and Art alone on B. Not even the op positioned here, so you have to deal with that as well. You're just starting to work through Brackett's control. Bad timing for falling on the swing means he'll fall early, and they haven't been able to take the space at all.
They're not going to know about Lukowski. Tucked into the corner, but Yuri sniffs it out just in the nick of time. Able to snap over for the kill on Dissenti as well. Time is getting low, 25 seconds, but Zevi, he's going to have his vision distracted, geist off by smoke. Bomb can go down and advantage FURIA as they seek out map point. Where's the money at? They can risk this.
Should risk it. Keep him away from 12 here. Molly tossed in as well. Will it flush anyone out? No, not quite. Forces an adjustment, but another Molly sit back and return is going to slow this down.
This positioning in towards mini pit as well. This crossfire might be too much. Sectioning off of that Molotov. Zevi down. And now at this point, Art has to slink away. There's just not the clock for it. The op can be retrieved. That's a huge prize. Wants to keep FURIA into this, it seems, but Then she's going to have to grab that thing and get out of here.
It's planted for Pip, but towards CT, he's going to die.
Well, he's definitely dead. Wanted the extra damage. Finds it. Only one survivor over on the Furia side. Decided that that was the best use of the finances. And now one more round. To be fair to Fluxo, you can't take it with you.
That's fair. Yeah, you can't save it for next map. So you're trying to weaken the economy at the tail end. That does seem to be something they're fine with. They have the full buyout coming through here, still fending off against what is going to be map point.
I was going to say no head armor for Art, but that seems to be a choice. And there is a Galil on the other side, so I guess we'll see if he gets headshot by a Galil specifically. Not the most likely result, but Yakintar with a nice opener does make that a little bit easier. The AK does the damage. Galil not required. They're losing the bodies. They're losing the numbers. Lukowski is at 1 HP, walking wounded. One stray bullet, a chip off the block will kill him, and that's all that's required. Now the bomb goes down, and a massive retake is necessary with the smoke to block their path.
Both of them have to work their way through. Flashbang and HE following it up here, but with utility out, that smoke gonna reform. KSCERATO, smoke spam. Flashbang's good, but blind fire gonna deal with the rest, and Zevi
can't back away.
He's looking for consolation prize. Make this KD look a little more pretty, because this one not going his way, and it doesn't even give a chance there. KSCERATO with a closing headshot. He should start playing the game backwards.
I think if I saw him hit a headshot backwards, I would actually lose my mind.
That'd be the coolest trick shot of all time.
Someone unplugged Decenti's arms and plugged them back in, because they're not supposed to do that. Zevi.
Good with the dualies last time.
He was. Had himself a real nice go. This time he's got another set of dualies behind him in the hands of the double-jointed mutant of Decenti. Decenti. Decent flexibility off that, man. No shots just yet landing, but Zevi starts to find him, finds his damage. The dualies doing their work. And descending on Decenti. Back down below the Balk. Will not save him from the fury of Fallen's Glock. Bomb planted down now. There's a smoke and a flash to make this retake work, but critically, there's not a kit. You better get a move on here, Art. And he'll do exactly that.
Not planning for Fallen here, so I think a large responsibility going to be put on the shoulders of KSCERATO here.
Fallen the distraction, though. Perhaps. The prod out of the ramp. They expect this, and Art's cleared out KSCERATO, so now Fallen's in a tough... Well, never mind, he's dead. So, not a tough spot anymore. As he has been dealt with. No need for a kit. No need for the util either. Get it done with the pistols.
Quick set. Art getting himself nice and refreshed here for the closer. Fallen's still looking sharp as can be here, this time on the pistol, but they just couldn't sustain the amount of damage that Zevi is able to do with those dualies. And Senti following it up. 1-0, another pistol round going in the favor of Fluxo to try and lift off on the CT side. Try and set the tone. The force buy is prioritizing a lot of utility here. Instead of getting those Galils out, it smokes, it flashes that they lean in on instead. This means they got him good execute queued up. Maybe a split mid B up catwalk. And only a duo left to deal with, an ump, as well as a bit of resistance here from Art. This is interesting.
Don't see a ton of those. Nice kill on the other side. Do they expect Art? The Molotov hasn't dealt with him, and now that ump is going to come into furious effect. Good damage done. Off of the SMG and just one man. Molodoy and a deagle, and no chance to pull the trigger. Zevi deals with that. Nate actually got a kill.
Yeah.
That's fun.
I thought maybe a chance there if he lands that 1D. That's 2 kills all of a sudden. It's a 1v1. And a flash, but instead, well put together there. Shut down the cat play completely, and not much ground there. The multi-kill out of the ump of Art, very valuable.
Hero rifle. Fallen drops that over. Says KSCERATO, my guy. I know what you can do.
Go and win us this one.
Have you considered simply killing them all, KSCERATO?
They're
all going to bait for him with the Glocks. I like this. Distract. Uh-oh, that would have been a really nice nade. Doing it with the guns is alright too.
That would have been so much damage right there on unarmored Glocks, but yeah, the rifles will work just fine.
Corner Monster stole that one.
Yeah. Sometimes they stick out a little bit more than you expect. Flawless.
That's tough for the utility damage, though. That would have been a cheeky 200 UD.
ADR? Think about the ADR.
Gotta get the DAR! Someone probably would have gotten an HLTV fantasy booster off of that.
2 HE kills. I think that's the one.
It's helpful.
Are you in the fantasy league this year?
I am. Am I doing well? No. No. Is my repeated faith in North American players costing me a lot? Probably yes. Things much to consider.
Yeah. Hey, at least you're reliable. This guy, reliable on this B side, walking down that opening and not allowing them to take any space whatsoever. Another crunch coming through towards the underpass, and Kowzy with the Deagle looking to close it off there. Just fine that DCT goes around the corner instead. Fluxo are off to a roaring start here, 4-0.
They're loving life. Loving this turn of play, certainly after the last map.
Defense continues to hold things together here for him.
Furia is starting to think Hotu thoughts.
Uh-oh.
Don't think Hotu thoughts.
Can't think Hotu thoughts.
Can't go O2. That's a Hotu.
No.
O2.
Otherwise, people will start thinking that win was a Fluxo.
Little discussion happening here off of the timeout. Had to let that one breathe. Tech9's out. Bit of investment into this round as well with the utility. Would like a bomb plant, presumably, to make good on it. They baited out the initial incendiaries and the first con smoke, which is what they were hoping for. Now they'll start to make their move. Slight presence towards mid, so there's opportunities here. Yeah, KSCERATO working up from the underpass. Now they got this ground, what do you do with it?
Gonna work up Cat again. Senti being such a thorn in their side. Not allowing for that to pass here, but that's a lovely shot from Yakendar.
He wants the gun.
Wants the gun, won't get it.
Yeah, that might have been a bit much to ask, but now you can try and overwhelm Lukowski, which seems to be the game plan, and they're going to be able to do so indeed. So now, weaponry upgraded for sure. Nobody in position over towards Ticket. This could be a bomb plant. Hard's trying to correct that error, but has to be careful not to overplay his own hand. He's burning down to 0. And now it's not just about denying the bomb plant, it's about trying to recover the round. Zevi on this smoke fade is betting on himself, and that is not a bet he can pay off. Kai is thinking, you know, I actually like this gun. I would like to hold on to it. That is a disaster for Fluxo. After such a hot start to this map, dropping against the Techs, Furia find their footing.
I mean, just a lovely shot to open things up for Yakendar, and as you said, trying to hunt out gun down maybe a little bit too much. Having a little bit of backup, though, is just the right touch. Yuri chased it down that trade. And I think that if you're Fluxo, almost kill Kai was in the danger zone right now. They're going to walk past each other. But if you're Fluxo, you're probably thinking, okay, they threw the window smoke, they threw the con smoke, rather. That's a play towards the B side. And in a moment of opportunity, Furia then pounce on the connector play that presents itself, and then that catches Fluxo off guard because they're in rotation towards B. And it ends up being almost a happy little accident, but a very good mid-round call to take advantage of the spots that were given. So an eco round to lift off the back of a timeout. And if you're talking about kind of stomping down on the momentum that you possess, losing rounds like that, gonna be feeling a little bit of pain.
Oh, it's a different Brazilian roster.
Oh, they're feeling Furia right now, sorry.
Mid control largely conceded here again, though this time Kai's getting some looks in, and Uganti Senti really wary about window. Oh boy, it's Molodoi who comes out worse than wear, both survivors of that AWP exchange. Sorry, that wasn't the op either.
It's a rifle, yeah.
The op's off here.
Down.
I thought that was a leg shot coming through, but the op's chilling in apartments.
Sayside feeling really reliant on this connector presence here. Thought there was a player boosted up on the seal, but instead he's stuck on under Balk here. Lukowski having to deal some damage. Yikinder going to overlook this angle, forces the shots off immediately. KSCERATO find anything extra, just holds him out one spray and pray. Well, and somehow managed to thread a trade. 4v4 here and still holding a confident angle. So Lukowski, he's going to walk away there.
Pre-fire on towards Art. Damage comes back the other way, and now Zevi's under pressure. Shot missed, but a nade kill elsewhere. They're trying to run this down. Molodoy, combat offing up against Zevi on the other side, but that's the bomb dropped. And KSCERATO trying to recover, just doesn't have the time on this clock. 8 seconds. He cannot get this bomb planted. This round is over. He's just going to try and save the op.
Takes it crucially out of the hands right there. At least picks it up for some sort of prize here. The Fluxo immediately bounced back, so the pressure of losing that half by there instead is a quick bounce back opportunity.
Nicely alleviated, for sure. Stymieing FURIA, yeah, they're going to be able to get a buy off of this. Especially thanks to that saved AWP. Ouch. Ooh. Looked like he hit it like a freeze frame jump pose.
Yeah.
Ah.
I mean, that one landed perfectly on his feet, just boosted him up a little bit. No cartwheels. So Zevi taking a forward fight here. And he is at risk. They're already close by. You think, is there going to be a flashbang for this position? And how long does he want to stick around here? Not too much longer. I wonder if they hear this runaway as well.
Molotov in the window. The window is burning. They're grouping up for the A-take. KSCERATO would love to start it off with a bang. 8's pretty good.
Oh, boy. Nice throw. Good Zevi right now. He is fully exposed to A main. Doesn't die, though. Bit of a misspray there in the motion, but Zevi finds the trade, and Yikinder sends his crosser up high.
Blind!
The blind transfer. This one feeling a little bit out of control here. Kai trying to save it, but Yikinder tracks him in the smoke. It doesn't look like he needs to see his opponents.
I think there might have been a silencer sticking out there somewhere, looking like an awkward hedgehog. Either way, Yikinder with a fearsome 3-piece put together. And this time, of course, they can build. 5 players surviving, starting to build back in, breaking down the economy over on the Fluxo side as well. Nice op shot out on that one. We didn't see the silencer kill, but I'm pretty sure there was just a little...
It was maybe some broken out there.
barrel sticking out.
Yeah.
They do that.
They betray you.
Just saying, another pitch for the A4.
I'm with you on the A4 wave sometimes.
Sometimes.
Sometimes it's easy to spray with the A1.
They got the right sight. It's just pistols, but they got the right sight.
I don't expect him to be that quick here, and now Yikinder is starting to realize there's a little too many bodies around that corner.
Take my gun.
That is a good cue.
Run with it.
To say, let's go somewhere else.
Well, Fallen's saying, you know, I could get some eco kills and keep them away from a gun.
He's just doing his job, making sure they don't pick up the rifle.
Oh, 4 bullets.
Falling back, giving the ecos over to someone else. Molodoy will take them. Here to put the finishing touches on it. 3-5. There you go. There's a little bounce back coming through from FURIA.
Well handled. Now for Fluxo, it's about the response, right? You took the eco here. You've already had such a nice start to this half. You're on the CT side. You're on defense. You need to get more out of it. We can't let the momentum totally swing back the other way. We got the ump back for Art.
Oh, yeah.
We got an op. Trying to peer over this mid-smoke. Not going to happen. Pressure applied towards B early. Art and Kai trying to plug the vacuum here, but out the window they go. Flashbang's lethal, but Kai's vision is clear. The transfer can't get it. And so for the moment, Art continues to prove a nuisance. Rotations are on. They're out by the fan and a swing into his old comrade. Oh boy, Decenti's here in time now, and it all falls to Molodoi. Art finding some magic here. Making himself an absolute nuisance. Now means that the new guy has to try and pick up the pieces of the puzzle, and they're all over the kitchen floor.
That's a beautiful hold there from Art, dancing all around. With the ump again. Not the first time he's been challenged on that B side with the ump. We finally see a more decisive call from Furia as well. I think they really wanted to stick the knife on in this T side. And instead, they get pushed right on back. Game plan spoiled there by the Art multi-kill.
I mean, we're calling for a response. Who better to give it than Art? Set it up in the first map. A lot of history between Art and Furia.
There's no one that's more motivated to head into this matchup and be able to come away with the victory here than Art for the side of Fluxo. Trying to pull the strings here, able to stay elusive, but this time, Kai just walking out in towards middle. That's easy pickings for Molodoi. Now, a lurk out towards the A side. I think Lukowski trying to register something that doesn't realize in time. Zevi caught surprise, and now Yakindar realizing how much resources are still on this A side. Not going to speed him up towards B, so they're going to stick around. And they're getting plucked apart there, but Art still able to fall around the edge of that smoke here. And now that's going to lead them in towards this B side.
Now they're figured it out. KSCERATO still here. Still a real problem. Because he's down below half. A 1v2. And he's got time to pick up all the pieces he could possibly want.
An op in Palace, I believe?
Well, he doesn't really seem like he wants to do this.
No.
I'm very surprised that he's not going to attempt that, to be honest. I guess the op is valuable, their money's on the ropes, but in a 1v2?
Yeah, the issue is you got all of the market to recover. They kind of know where you are. It's not if he made the instant decision, I could see a world. Maybe makes a catch jump, something of that nature, but the fact that he kind of went on a bit of an excursion, it's not going to lead him with many opportunities there. So a full belt of utility and AWP. A kit. He's walking away with quite a bit of opportunity. I do wonder here, after we watched that CT side of Furia completely shut out Fluxo. Limit all of the key firepower pieces of that camp. How much they can afford to really give away in this first half.
Conversation going on there. Seemed like primarily between Lukowski and Decenti. See if they're going to attempt something a little bit interesting here. Lukowski solo towards A initially. So that's quickly rectified. And he's going to get aggressive. So here's what it is. Here's what they're trying to set up. He was describing to Decenti presumably what he wants on this flashbang. There it is. Didn't work. Did not work. Decidedly did not go to plan. It's nice when you can see a plan come together. Like someone talks about at the break, you obviously see them discussing and then they put it into execution. Less nice when they just get destroyed.
Yeah, it feels like Furia also saw that plan coming. I mean, both players were looking at the wall right there. Both were playing dodge flash. If he would have turned that corner dry, he probably would have found a couple. But neither one of them blind by the A aggression flash here. Decenti following through here on this play doesn't really give him much. Going to be instantly dismissed. This is a 5v1. I don't think Sevi's going to walk away with his op. Towards the tail end of the half, you're going to want to rip this out of his hands.
Furia hungry. Sevi looking like a snack. Stuck in con. Desperately trying to keep the sniper up, and it's not happening. Team ace for Furia. Always fun to see.
Aggression all over the map right there, and Furia one by one are able to put it to rest. Nice shots from Molodoi.
I got a question for you.
What's that?
Taking us totally out of this moment of this round. Nice round for Furia, for sure. If you're in a game of Counter-Strike, what feels more satisfying to you? Pulling off a crazy clutch or calling something out of spawn that your teammates perfectly execute that works?
Calling something out of spawn, I think, is better for me. at least in like league matches, because I call pretty fast-paced plays, and so then I get to sequence those calls together, where I do one thing and then I do another thing, you know, so it all builds upon each other.
Well, that's a nice call. This time the link up between Lucasi and Decenty works for a 1-for-1 trade. Not bad. So that's a play called.
Yeah, you get the AK upgraded as well into Decenty. That's a trade that you'll take when you're in these sort of half buys here. Unfortunately, Art doesn't have an ump. Seems to be one of his better weapons.
Up on the boxes? No, he's just under the window. Okay, couldn't quite tell from the mini-map.
He's been playing it here quite a bit under the window, and he's been finding multis.
He's a nuisance, man. He is a nuisance. Looking for this headshot.
Ooh.
Not been spotted. Gets a dink. Dancing around. Zevi follows it up. Art continues to be a problem, and Zevi here with the big dig is delivering. All onto one man. That one man is quite capable. Moldoy now going to the AK, but he doesn't quite realize there's still a player just under the lip. When will Zevi strike? He won't. So Moldoy has the chance to slip away. Went back to the op as well, his favorite gun. Rocking up the underpass. Is he going to be heard? Yes, he is indeed. Decenty has clocked him. And he's knife out for the moment. Decenty can finish this. The drop down, the cross. He's made it. And can play it safe. Now he knows where both these players are coming from. And they don't quite have a perfect vision on what he's doing. Chance for the shot. But nimbly dodge, and Decenty will not allow him to pop a second. Moldoy looking like he was creating something magical, but it's Fluxo to close the half.
Run it back. Here's another hot one.
Now that's more like it, Fluxo. A little bit of a lead here as we head into the second half of play, but their woes did come on the T side. You nicely called that out here, Cole, so this could still spell problems for Fluxo. They got to show us that they got the gumption here on the attack.
A couple fast flashes. It's going to be a fast B rush here. Smoke already pulled out by Fallen, and he's going to give over the space right now, try and lean in on his teammates coming through in support here, but it still seems like it has to be Fallen. Alone on the site, now getting help from Catwalk as well, allowing for Lukowski to scale. Yakindar, again, has Fallen's back here, and Yakindar continuing to strike through, looking for all the frags. DCT left last man standing, can't last long, as Molodoi able to pack a punch, and it will be staved off there, the aggression put to rest.
Happy slaps from the coach. City.
Oh, that's a nice shot from Molotov, my god. That is quick reactions as well. You don't see a off-spawn B-rush with the classic, you know, market door or market window smoke and a couple of flashes. I like that Fluxo kind of keep it old school. Although you see why it's not as common.
Not as common.
Pretty tough to make work there in the nowadays.
Nice. Usually, if you keep it old school, you do kind of need the win.
Yeah.
There's a reason why the old school is old.
Works in matchmaking, though.
Yeah, well, keep that one in mind, folks watching at home. Check in your game, see what happens. Better yet, join ESCA League.
Yeah.
Check in your open game. Bet you it works there. Could
Even
start
works
your
in
path
Face,
to the
to be
Pro League.
honest. Works just about everywhere besides when you're playing up against some pretty sharp aimers on Fury, although Dissenti has some good aim of his own. Uses that only Deagle that's invested here to full effect, and Yakindar's kind of caught in some trouble, but also only up against clocks. Shouldn't have too much trouble breaking down these kills. KSCERATO coming in as support, and we're tied up.
Sharp. He's sharp.
He is sharp.
Very sharp. Not dull.
Oh.
Sharp.
Putting the hammer to the sword right there. The grindstone, as you say. Spinning that wheel.
Getting all the nicks out. But you don't want the spark. You want the sparks. You don't want the smoke.
Gold sparks are good.
Smoke bad.
Yeah.
Maybe a little whistling.
Oh.
Cowsey not whistling out of this one. Bullets whistling by him.
Oh my
Look
god.
at this damage. It's the util. It's Inferno all over again off this early CT util.
They've got all of the B side cut off.
All right. Well, that side of the map closed for business. This mid player getting encroached upon doesn't even know it yet. Probably already dead.
But Dissenti alive and well and catching them by surprise. Gotta convert, and at least he does. But as you said, how is he still alive? He's able to make his way through connector. The flank, though, is going to be fast.
I'm actually surprised by how much patience KSCERATO is showing on this outfront underpass. They're trying to stall them out and let Yakindar come back through, which he might do, but the bomb's going to get planted. This is getting more difficult. Well, okay, that alleviates some of the pressure. That's what Yakindar was waiting for. Now both these players are in pretty tough positioning for it. You still have KSCERATO in towards middle. So as they've been distracted, now KSCERATO will start to get activated. He's losing teammates, though. It's all onto Art. 2 health. He cannot miss these shots, and he won't. Nade would finish it, but KSCERATO's trusting in the guns, and he's running out of time. Has to force the issue, which he will. Time enough, I think, just about for the defuse, but he doesn't have a kit, so this is coming right down to it. Oh, it's a squeaker. Whew, that's a clencher. I don't know how much time there was to spare, but a fraction of a second at best.
Stone cold right there, you knew it. Never want to be in a position where you're up against a low HP bar and you get caught with utility out. So I was nervous he was going to get that nade going and drop to the swing, but instead KSCERATO just hunts down his prey. Wins the round in just the right time. All things considered, though, I feel like Fluxo getting away with a lot there, considering the positioning of the 4v5. They almost struck on that A side in time. They're going to try pretty pacey A play once again.
Yeah, they're going to overload here. Million nades. That's the title of this strat. Smoke off everything, flashbang everything. Yuri, blind as a bat, still able to track Art. That's the echolocation in action and flying out the smoke. That's a second one delivered. They're trying to harass him, but he's got teammates now coming into support. And Yuri, still standing strong for a moment, buys time for KSCERATO, all into one man, V3, and a nade will not even allow him to see.
So composed there from Yuri, man. That's a high stakes position right there. When you're committed and all alone on that A side, you don't really have a lot of help. You're going all in on being able to fight through the execute, and he managed to make it work. Look at this opening pick there on Art. I don't know how he's able to track his aim right there. Just feels like muscle memory going through the reps. Playing a little bit of that defender there.
He just knows Art so well. He actually knows the path he takes jumping out of.
Yeah. I've seen you do that once or twice. You love to get yourself tucked in towards Firebox, which I mean is a pretty common play when you're on these pistols to try and clear out under bulk, but you're already just staying elusive.
Well, no, actually, it's a bottom con smoke. I was gonna say miss window smoke, but no, it's all good.
I don't know, man.
No, that does appear to be a bit of a perhaps miss. It would give you cover coming out of underpass.
Yeah, maybe like a lurk smoke there, but
it was one of the running variations, so those can get trickier to hit properly.
Wonder why throw in that running variation. Either way, some jump spotting for Fallen with a forward position. I mean, he is so loud about his spot. That deep molly. Not going to force Kai off. He knows he has a timing now. He knows he has potential. And this deep utility is going to set up Fallen for failure unless he can deal with Kai. They're going to ask for a flash. He's going to jiggle out. He's going to take the duel outright, and Fallen punishes. Fallen looking so fearless. Yeah, he will be punished eventually, though. And a trade back and forth here. They think there's some space. Descenti, look at his aim.
Look at this flank, though. Look at this flank all the way through. Yuri's actually going to be sucked into the apartments because of all of that damage was done, so this has worked very well as a fake. Molodoy's pulled back off as a result of this, and now he's starting to hear the action coming in towards A.
Flashbang.
It's too frisky on these looks. He can't give his own life up.
Oh.
Before his teammates can get active.
Oh.
That was the worst possible path to take for that one.
This is a save.
Try and go for an airstrike for maximum speed and actually just stalls you out right in the opposite angle.
Yeah.
Unfortunate. No chance.
Oh my god. Okay, no, he didn't die after time. I thought the that he just happened there, left it to
I mean,
the time
genuinely, that
expiring.
was a gift. You could have waited those 4 seconds.
Yeah, it was 1 second when it turned over. But I thought the whiff was a little bit of a blessing in disguise there. Either way, they'll take the victory and do so in stride. And it's like you said,
Look at this. Oh.
jumping right into the ankle.
I understand the idea. You're trying to hit a cheeky strafe to just offset his aim, but unfortunately, you did drop right into him.
It's also a
Those are hard.
flashbang that didn't quite land on Molodoy either. And so what could have been just a pretty comfortable bomb plant, if you avoid the wall bangs, it ends up being free fire for Molodoy to change the advantage.
Started to have some pretty nice numbers, as we expect, from the young superstar. Falling back away. KSCERATO. More than capable. This is looking like a non-starter for Fluxo.
Some of these shots looking pretty nice here, but it's all just consolation. Taking some of these kills here. Fluxo going to be forced into their timeouts. And again, it's these T-side woes that are costing them. Feels like on the Furia camp, this time we're getting a little more case of what like players like Yuri can do on the anchoring, which we didn't really need to see a lot other than the pistol round on Inferno. We're getting to see what he can do on the A side. We're seeing what Fallen and Help can do, the way that he's able to stay alive and find these kills. And so the multis that are coming through out of the defense, the kind of missing trade opportunities from Fluxo, it's still a problem here that's presenting on Mirage.
Well, not a lot of time to find solutions. Now is kind of the moment. One of the solutions that has presented itself in the past is the off and Zevi's hand. It's a little trickier to work on the T side, but he's got to do it. They prioritized it. need to be able to deliver. Seems like this is going to be a crunch towards middle. KSCERATO could be under threat as a result of that, but, well, he's already done a kill, and now he's away. So, never mind. He is the threat.
I feel like Lucazi's been forced into the same fate as Banana, where he smoke spammed on the T side every round. And there's another one. T side just can't really get going for him. This is one of your lead pieces here, and HG's doubling up. It does feel like more of Inferno. Art Lucazi down, a 4v5, and it gets even worse. Xavi and Ducenti left last standing here. Can they recover?
They're both low as well. Down around half. When this window smoke fades, they're going to be very exposed. Opportunities for the scope, maybe. But by that same token, a lot of danger, and now elimination on the line. Fallen diving out of the window. Series point locked in. Furia just need one of the next 5, and they are moving on into the 1-1 pool. Water's nice in the 1-1 pool, I hear.
Yeah.
Like Nuke.
Like Nuke. It's nice and blue.
Nice and blue.
It's pretty in picture. And that is where Furia maybe even didn't even expect to be, but they'll happily find themselves when they're down 0-1. It's a quick recovery and really able to get their confidence back up against this Fluxo squad. We're going to roll it back one more time here. One more test for Yuri. On the A side here, Molodoy, advanced angle, no flashes. Lucazi down once more. This looking like it could be more of the same.
Oof. Ouch. Owie. Lucazi's bones. Really having a rough time with this one. Straight down for the 1. Answers are here, though. It all falls to Ducenti. Manages to collect onto the first. 2 more kills to find, and as he tries to retrieve the bomb, KSCERATO will keep that from his fingers. Furia with the 2-0 triumph over old friends over on the Fluxo side of things, and revenge for Art and Tacitus and Kai will have to be delayed to a different day. That's the Furia that we expect. That's the Furia that's tops in the rankings, that's coming in here as the high seed, that's been turning heads and dominating stages in this world of Counter-Strike. That is the Furia that we need.